Everyone says post daily, follow trends, they recommend expensive gear, yet most content creators still struggle to be seen. I'm studying and coaching personal brands every day. I myself gained hundreds of thousands of true fans. In this video, I'll share with you why the old playbook is failing and the 4 steps to building your personal brand in the new content era. Be yourself. Sounds like fluff. You've heard it a million times, but let's break it down. People follow people, not personas. When content feels real, they lean in. When it feels manufactured, they scroll. For example, look at Vanessa Lau. She shows us exactly how this works. One thing that attracts me to her content is how she merges the scenes of her daily process, both the properly filmed scenes and the bloopers. It feels real. It's not just what she says, it's the way she says it. The moments she messes up, the jokes that she doesn't edit out. It gives that vibe that says, this is me. Take it or leave it. And that builds loyalty. Authenticity is like cooking your grandma's secret recipe. You don't measure everything to perfection. You don't try to plate it like a Michelin star chef. You throw in a little too much garlic, laugh when the sauce splashes on your shirt, and serve it up hot. A little messy, but full of soul. When someone tastes it, they don't care that the garnish isn't symmetrical. They taste you in every bite, despite how inappropriate that sounds. They remember the way it felt, not just how it looked. What happens if you're not authentic? You attract the wrong audience. Or worse, no one remembers you. You'll blend into the noise, no matter how often you post. Here's what to actually do. Share both wins and struggles that you're experiencing right now. Don't polish every post. Share thoughts in the moment, like Miss Dow Jones, who earned substantial income just sharing her authentic thoughts. Ask yourself, does this feel like me or like a version I think people want? Now that we've established authenticity as your foundation, let's build on it with strategic storytelling. Nobody cares about your About Me page. They care about why your story matters to them. Your story isn't just your past, it's your positioning, your proof, and your differentiator in a feed full of filters. Picture this. 2 creators post the same marketing tip. One says, hook your audience in the first 3 seconds. The other says, in 2019, I lost 80% of my revenue because I didn't know how to hook viewers. Now, my intros do the heavy lifting and I'm booked for months. Who do you trust more? When I first started creating content, I focused on pure flexing. My engagement was flat. Then I shared my stories of how exactly I created stunning visual effects. I started breaking down my viral effects in detailed tutorials. After my first breakdown went viral, I knew I had struck gold. I stuck to this exact format. The result? Over 200,000 followers in just 10 weeks. Because I found what resonated and I doubled down on it. These posts got 10 times my average engagement and brought in my first 5 coaching clients. Why? Because my journey from dull videos to Hollywood-worthy effects made my advice credible. It showed that I understood the whole process, start to finish. Why storytelling matters. Story gives your message emotional weight, turning abstract ideas into relatable moments. It bridges the gap between inspiration and instruction by showing your journey from struggle to solution. It positions you as a human and empathetic, not just knowledgeable. In a world obsessed with templates and scripts, your real-life experience is the one thing AI can't replicate. What happens if you skip storytelling? You just become another voice in the echo chamber. Generic, forgettable. People might learn from you, but they won't connect with you. No connection, no community, no conversions. Here's how you can put this into action. Identify 3 key moments from your journey. Failures, pivots, small wins. These are your anchor points, your origin stories. Share why each moment changed you. What did it teach you? How does it shape what you teach now? Don't just say, I struggled. Be specific. I went 9 months without a single client because I was afraid to show my face on camera. Specificity creates intimacy. Intimacy builds trust, and trust, that's currency. Storytelling and consistency go together perfectly. When you tell your brand's story, you need to keep telling it in a way that makes sense and stays true to who you are. Let's get one thing straight. Consistency does not mean posting daily. That's 2017 talk. That's burnout talk. That's I just deleted my app and need therapy talk. Consistency in this new content era means consistent message, like Nike's just do it. Whenever they post about athletes, products, or motivation, you'll always find their message of empowerment and action. Be consistent with your message. Consistent focus. For example, Gary Vee built his entire brand around hustle and entrepreneurship, never straying into topics like cooking or fashion, which helped cement his authority in business. Consistent tone. Whether bold, warm, or witty, maintain your unique voice. For example, if Marie Forleo always brings a playful, humorous tone to her content, she wouldn't suddenly switch to being overly formal or extremely serious. Imagine your favorite show drops a new episode, but instead of crime drama, it's a cooking show. Then next week, a puppet musical. You'd unsubscribe so fast Netflix would send a wellness check. People don't trust chaos. They trust pattern. They trust predictability. Why consistency creates results. A consistent brand voice is like a familiar face in the crowd. It builds recognition. The more you repeat your message, the more it sticks. Familiarity breeds trust, and trust breeds conversion. Think of your content as your brand's heartbeat. It doesn't need to race. It just needs to maintain rhythm. Here's what you need to do. Choose 3 content pillars that you never stray from. Example, behind the scenes process, case studies and results, actionable tutorials. Define your go-to sentence starters. Example, if I had to start over, here's what no one tells you. I used to believe. As you build on consistency, let's address what makes our consistent content stand out. It's quality. Posting more doesn't make you better. It just makes you burned out. We live in a world that values output, but if that output is half-baked content, you're just creating noise. And in the new crowded digital landscape, no one has time for noise. Quality cuts through the algorithmic noise. Quality builds meaningful relationships. Quality establishes genuine authority. It's not just about creating content. That's the easy part. When it comes to creating content that people care about, you need a strategy. And through that strategy, there's a testing phase. Once I figured out what was resonating with people, I made notes about patterns and then just repeated what works. This is one of the most common mistakes that I see, is not properly analyzing and repeating what already works. It's like your favorite local restaurant. Their food is so good, you drive across town just for a meal there. But if they're serving soggy fries and burnt toast every day, people just stop showing up no matter how many locations they open. One exceptional post will outperform 10 mediocre ones every time. What happens when you prioritize quantity, not quality? Your audience learns to scroll past you. They won't bother with your next post because they expect more of the same noise. Your content just becomes invisible, and when you're invisible, you fade away. Here are 3 ways to instantly elevate your content quality. Master your camera angles. The right angle changes how people feel about your content. Close-up shots create intimacy when sharing something personal. POV shots let viewers walk in the shoes, building trust faster. Use VFX. Using VFX is like turning your content from black and white to full-blown IMAX. You're still telling a story, but now it moves. Literally. Words pop when they matter. Transitions guide the eye, or a clone effect makes people think, what's going on here? Viewers don't just watch, they feel it. This isn't about flashy gimmicks. It's about making sure that every scroll leads to a stop, and every stop turns to a follow. The best part? You don't need a big budget or a film degree. Many of my students have seen great results after adding visual effects to their videos. Their videos went up and they started making more sales. If you want to learn to do this, I've got a VFX course which breaks it all down for you, step by step, no guesswork. Click the link in the description to start learning now. Your brand doesn't need more content, it needs content that sticks. Let's make it happen. In this new content era, growing your personal brand is the key to growing on social media. Start today with these 4 powerful steps. Be authentic, share your story, be consistent with your message, choose quality over quantity. Your action step today. Choose just one of these principles and implement it this week. If you found this valuable, check out my previous video on how to make viewers addicted to your content with storytelling. Remember, in a world of content creators, be a connection creator.